So I don't really know how to start off this video, but
Uh-huh.
I posted my shut up, dude. God, I'm talking. All right, I posted my blog right on Dokkan Amino about why GT Goku and GT Vegeta shit on every other TUR in the game. Like they just take their fat asses out and just drop the fattest donkey turd all over everybody, right? And then our good friend here, introduce yourself.
I'm Qwert.
All right, yeah, that kid. All right, so he said that I was wrong, and that's why we're here today. We're gonna have a little bit of a man father to son conversation about it. No, we're
I'm being
actually
held hostage.
we're gonna do a debate about it. So the way
Uh-huh.
that this is gonna work, you already know what my premise is. You already read my blog. Well, you skimmed it, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like repeating myself. So we have a judge here. Ian, say hi.
Hello.
All right, that's all we needed. So we have a judge here. Basically, you know my premise, as I already said. You're gonna state why you think that I'm wrong. You're gonna give your reasoning, and then I'm gonna respond to that, and we're gonna go back and forth until eventually we're both gonna give our conclusions at the end after we set our points, and then Ian will decide who had the better argument. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So go ahead, give us your premise. What is your counter argument to what I said in my blog?
Okay. The thing I really didn't like the most about your blog is the first thing I did when I went to your blog is I looked at the little glossary. I scrolled all the way down to the reasoning why you said they're the number one TURs, and I saw that you said GT Goku had um good defense in the God event
Yes.
because he could be ran with other type neutral GT units that could defend fine.
Yes.
But I just don't agree with that. I don't doubt that the new Int Vegeta could defend fine. I'm sure he could take a fucking beating. That guy's really good.
Mhm.
Um, but for one of the units that you mentioned was the new tech unit. Mostly where you're going to be using this Goku is in stages of the God event. Besides like Hell is a stage.
Mhm.
But I feel like if you're going into an int stage, you won't really bring a tech unit because obviously that's type advantage disadvantage.
Mhm.
So that's like one less unit that you can run with the Goku when you're doing the God event. And I don't really feel like the AGL one holds up very well either before they like stack and shit because well like it's the God event, you get supered and you're taking like 300 400k damage and then you're not taking double digits from normals, so I feel like one bad turn for a unit like that will just end up in you losing.
Oh, one bad
And
turn for
so
anybody, really, but yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah.
anybody really, but that's what I'm saying with
Mhm.
type neutral. That's really just how it goes for most cards, which is why I don't think you should be doing that for GT heroes.
Okay.
That's basically it.
Okay. Well,
I'd need to read the
my
rest of the post.
my premise was that they're the best for multiple reasons. Other than that, do you
Yeah.
disagree that they are the best?
Yeah. Can
Why?
I just give reasons?
Yeah.
I don't think they're
Who do you think is
not the
better
best
and
because it's
why?
their fault. Um, you're gonna tech Gohan.
Okay.
Yeah. I know everybody says it. I know it's memed a lot, but I just feel like it's kind of facts because you
Kind of
take
facts.
Set Gohan and any team that he can be ran
Mhm.
in, and you take him into basically any event in the game,
Right.
and he's gonna be almost the best defensive unit on your team, like literally anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think a unit like that you can just run in like slot one, especially nowadays when most units like raise their defense on super attack and stuff. I think a unit that can just tank the shit out of anything in the game in slot 1 is really valuable for that reason. And he has a lot of category teams, so that means you can run him on a lot of stages in SBR.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's basically it. I don't think he's anything crazy with attack unless you stack him in a long event, and his links aren't all that. But I feel like just the sole reason of his defensive capabilities puts him in that slot.
Okay. So that's everything, right? That's your you stated your disagreement, and then you stated who you think is the best, right? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, so you addressed your disagreement with the fact that I said that GT Hero units are good enough, or at least there are enough of them to be good enough type neutral in the God event, therefore making GT Goku's defense fine in the God event. And you said that you don't agree with me listing off the Tech GT Gohan and Goten as a unit who would tank in the God event, right?
I don't think any unit besides the new Vegeta is good enough for that.
All right, can you... Okay, so do you understand how their defense works, GT Gohan and Goten?
I feel like you have a better understanding of it than I do, so can you just like go through it real quick?
Okay. So GT Gohan and Goten, they get, what is it like? It's let me just double check. I think it's 150%. Yeah, they get 150% attack and defense on super attack, but they also provide support for 40% attack and defense for GT heroes, which they're on. So basically, the way that this ends up working is that since one of them is a start of turn buff, which is their support ability, it'll end up multiplying with their 150% attack and defense. You already know that. I've said that like 50 billion times in my vlogs, right? So the way that this works is it's 150% times 40%, right? So that's basically 250%. But they also greatly raise defense for one turn. So that defense buff, well, it's attack and defense, but that defense buff will also multiply into what's already in their passive. So that'd just be another 1.5. So basically, they end up at 425% defense without any support active, right? Then they also have Cold Judgment. I believe they have All in the Family as well. They do solid support, Saiyan lineage. I believe solid support. No, excuse me. Solid support isn't a defense link. But All in the Family, the Saiyan lineage, and Cold Judgment are all defense links. Basically, I'll send this to the debate room real quick if I haven't already. Go to the debate room channel. Oh, this is going to take 5 millennia because my service sucks ass. But basically, people have already calced it. They end up getting around 400,000 plus defense. Now, if you think that 400,000 plus defense can't tank in the God event, then, well, I don't really know what to tell you, but it will. Now, they can't take a super. No shit, obviously. But they definitely can tank type neutral after the attack. But I guess you could then argue that that's only after the attack. Who are you going to put in slot 1? Well, this Goku does get 200,000 plus defense if there are two GT heroes on the rotation. So he could be put in slot 1, and he will tank pretty well in the God event. Not necessarily be able to take super attacks, but then if you want to worry about that, there's always Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who can also tank type neutral. And if you want to disagree with that, you can literally look up a video on YouTube about it, like just a quick search. So, yeah, me bringing up the Tech GT Gohan and Goten unit, who get over 400,000 defense after everything's calced and good to go. I suppose I should mention that that is with support. But even if you take away their support, they'll be over 300k defense anyway, which is more than fine in the God event. I don't really know why you would say otherwise. Again, if they get supered, oh well, I guess. Sure. But other than that, GT Goku will have pretty strong partners. GT Vegeta, you admitted, can tank in the God event type neutral. GT Gogeta can tank type neutral. You can literally look up a video on fucking the Truth's channel. He tanks type neutral, and he can counter super attacks. He's fine. And then GT Gohan and Goten, they're fine too. They have high enough defense. They're good. The Goten and Trunks, though, You might be right on that one about type neutral, but they, after like 2 turns of stacking, should be over 200k defense anyway. So that
Oh
should
yeah,
be
especially if
fine.
they get a super, an additional one.
Yeah, which they should be able to do, considering I'm pretty sure they have it built in, don't they? Let me check.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a built-in super, so they're also fine. But again, it's true that if any of these units get super attacked in the first slot, they're dead. And if GT Gohan and Goten get super attacked, period, they're probably dead. But again, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, just run him. In GT Vegeta, he's fine. So I don't really agree with saying that GT Goku doesn't have good partners for type neutral. Their defense stats are just too high, and I mean, I literally, there are numbers have been ran. Like, saying otherwise is actually just denying statistics, which is whatever. If you want to do that, that's fine. I don't care. So you said that Tech Gohan, though, is the best TUR, right? Because his defensive performance is just too dominant. That's your claim? Okay, so I believe your words exactly. No, I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm mistaken. We're having a slot 1 defensive unit that is reliable everywhere is more important to you than everything else a TUR can do. That's what you're basically saying, correct?
Not necessarily, but
all right. Well, I
actually,
go ahead and
you know what?
clear it up for me. Just make sure that I'm getting this correct.
I think that being able to do that is one of the best abilities in the game.
Okay.
Like, definitely, like, top 3.
All right. So with that, okay, so let me I've used this analogy before, right? So Tech Gohan, his defense is insane, right? Well, here's the thing. What about Tech EZA Golden Frieza?
That is a fair point.
So Tech EZA Golden Frieza, I think they have around the same amount of categories. Gohan might have a little bit more. I'm not entirely sure at this current point in time. I remember they were pretty even. Basically, Tech Golden Frieza, everybody knows about him. Unless you're below 50% HP, he has, like, what is it? I think it's 80% damage reduction, right? Yeah, it's 80. That's more than enough to tank practically everywhere, unless you're type disadvantaged in the God event. Type neutral, he can take a lot, obviously. He doesn't have guard like Gohan, but basically what I'm saying is that in most events, Tech Golden Frieza is quite similar to Tech Gohan. The only difference is that Tech Gohan will eventually hit harder, and he will also heal from orbs. And he has, you know, Saiyan links, yada yada, all that bullshit. Anyway, so if you're going to say that Tech Gohan's defensive capabilities are that important, and that's why he's better, what if I say, oh, but there's this TUR, and on their team, on multiple categories that this TUR is on, they share links with a unit who can do what Tech Gohan does. So why is Tech Gohan special if I can just put a unit on my team who already does what he does? Meanwhile, I'm doing everything else better than him. So, for example, to elaborate on what I'm saying, if Tech Gohan's defense is that crucial, yet you can have that role like fulfilled on a team by another unit. Meanwhile, this same team is led by a unit who hits harder than Gohan, has better links than Gohan, has better partners than Gohan, has a better team overall than Gohan, has better ki than Gohan, provides more to the units on his rotation than Gohan. Does Gohan's defense really matter that much? That's what I would ask.
Okay, so you disagree with saying that Tech Gohan is better because of his defense, because other defensive units like Frieza can do the same thing?
On top of the fact that I don't believe defense is entirely the only thing that a unit should be judged off of, hence why I said other units do everything else better than him. Yes, that is my argument.
I think that Gohan is definitely outshined by these two new units in every other category, but um I feel like he holds up better in like other areas too, for him to be like directly compared to them. So like,
For example.
hmm so you get what I mean though, right?
I do get what you mean,
Um,
so provide an
yeah.
example of these other areas, because you other areas is plural, and so far you've only mentioned defense.
I think his links aren't obviously like crazy, right? Let me just pull them up real quick.
Yeah, no, they're shit compared to Goku's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Goku's has way better links, for sure.
Let me pull them up.
I mean, unless you got like a hard-on for Infighter, but I mean, I don't think you do.
Okay. This.
Ah, the overlay got fucked off because somebody left. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't give a
Uh-oh.
shit at this point. Here, what? Let's just hide the fucking talking box. These guys know what's going on. Oh no, they joined back.
Yeah,
Oh, they fixed it. All right, kick ass.
people can listen to our voices. All right. So, I think the reason that I really like Gohan is because I think he can make other units on his teams look better. Cause like with Golden Frieza, for example,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you're running him on like Wicked Bloodline or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there are many units who like raise defense for one turn like after they super attack. Um, so you're just going to be putting Golden Frieza in the slot where he's getting attacked the most as opposed to like just slot 1. Whereas I
Fizz
feel like
Angel,
when
Golden
you're using
Frieza.
Gohan, you're putting him in slot 1 so that the other cards that you're using around him, like on Majin Buu Saga, like let's say you're running him on a rotation with STR Goku and Vegeta or Gotenks. With
Mm-hmm.
both of those units, that you want them in slot 2 so they can get a super off, or with Gotenks like 3 supers, so they can get like their crazy defense that you see when they're being used, like type neutral in the God event, for example. Um, I think that I really like Gohan so much because he's a slot 1 unit, and a lot of cards on his teams like to be in slot 2 and 3.
Okay. Oh my God, the overlay got fucked up again. All right. Well, anyway, I think that's. I think Melt joined. Great. So
Yo,
one
what's
of
up,
your one
Kevin?
of your boys is what's messing it up. Hold on.
One of my buddies.
Let me make sure he's muted because I don't want anybody to like interrupt.
Yeah, he's muted.
All right. Okay. Whatever. I'm just gonna remove the talking boxes. It doesn't matter. All right. Well. So you said that basically you used for your analogy that because you on your analogy you said Wicked Bloodline, right? No unit on Wicked Bloodline wants to super in the second slot. Well, that's incorrect. Fizz Angel Golden Frieza would like to super before he gets hit. He would also like to take a hit before he gets hit. So I guess you could say he's a slot
Oh
one
shit, I
unit.
forgot about him because I
Yeah.
don't have him. God damn it.
Yeah. So that's one unit. There's also AGL Cooler, but you wouldn't be running him in fairness.
I think SGR Cooler is also a fair one too because he lowers attack.
That's another one, of course, obviously. Well, I mean, if you're gonna use the lowering attack thing, then that's STR Cooler, int Final Form Frieza. Then you have, again, Fizz Angel Golden Frieza. On top of other
In
units
Final
as well.
Form Frieza, you can put in slot 1 most of the time.
Yeah, it's true.
When you're fighting the Goku family.
Anyway, so that is a fair point. You're saying that you like Gohan because a lot of people on his a lot of units on his teams, excuse me, would like to have somebody in the first slot so that they can get their defense afterwards. That's why you like his defense so much. Well, what I'm gonna say is I don't really care about Gohan's defense because units on Goku and Vegeta's teams, and Vegeta himself actually, in some occasions, Goku as well, can match his actual defensive number or rival his performance for the first turn. Now, that sounds a little bit crazy, I know, but if you're looking at their stats, Vegeta will have higher defense after attacking. But that's not a slot 1 defense unit, obviously. Gogeta is, because he can counter super attacks. And what I think is important is whenever the fact that you can cover your defense just enough that you're able to then just plow through whatever the hell is in your way, which is exactly what the GT Heroes team does. That's basically their entire gimmick, really. Is just plowing through everything. They're just that strong, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta make sure the bot plays again. Oh, this has been so not cool right now. Give me a second. All right. That was pretty unprofessional. But yeah. So your slot 1 argument for Gohan is pretty interesting and all that. And by interesting, I mean it's not. I've literally heard it like a million different times. And basically, it all boils down to this. It's basically you're gonna say his defense in that first slot matters more to you than, say, Goku one-shotting people in SBR, Vegeta and Goku making orbs, them leading 2 of the biggest teams in the game, 2 of the strongest teams in the game, them having superior link set, them having partners who can cover their asses, just like Gohan has partners who can hit hard because his offense is shit. But the only difference is that the units that hit hard, that Gohan covers for, do not hit as hard as Goku and Vegeta do as a pair. Goku and Vegeta as a pair, because I don't think either one of them individually is the best TUR. I think they're both the best TUR. I don't really prefer one or the other. If you read my blog, you'd understand that. But as a pair, and individually too, but anyway, my point is that them together as a rotation will hit far harder than whatever the hell Tech Gohan can be put on, while having good enough defense. And you can do this combo on like 5 different teams or something like that. So unless you think that Tech Gohan's defense matters that much, in which case, if we're going to argue the God event, which is technically the only event that I can think of besides ESBR, which in ESBR, like, you can, like, in a lot of the stages, the GT Heroes category can just one-shot any enemy that's there, except for, like, the SBRs that has, like, one enemy at the end, but they don't have any stages like that. But anyway, the God event is basically the only event that can really tear these guys' assholes up, right? Well, if you're talking about the God event, Gohan's not even the best unit in there defensively. It's Tech Khalifa, and you can put her on any team you fucking want. So if you care that much about Gohan, why don't you just run Tech Khalifa? Because every other event, defense doesn't matter that much. You can have, I mean, other units will tank just as well as Tech Gohan will in other events, except, again, maybe category SBR, but in that event, you can just plow the enemies with debuffs and stuns and all that crazy bullshit, so it doesn't fucking matter. The God event, you can't do that. You have to have good defense, but Tech Khalifa does that, so who cares? You know?
That's kind of facts.
My thing is that I think if the unit does more than the other... Okay, so if X unit does more than Y unit, then X unit is better. If it's better in more categories than Y unit, then X unit is better than Y. Like, it's just that simple. And if the numbers are so horrifically skewed in X unit's favor, then there's no reason it shouldn't be better than Y unit, other than preference. And defense is preferential, but statistically, numbers-wise, team-wise, Gohan doesn't have it in his favor. And I can literally pull up all different kinds of numbers to prove that point. While you will always run back to the same argument, which is defense, which I have already proved that there are other units who can do that for the Goku and Vegeta.
I think the preferential thing is actually, like, kind of true, because, basically, like, what, cogs are turning in the back of my mind is, I used Gohan's team fucking double Gohan to no item the GT Legendary Goku event, and it was so easy because I had all of these defensive hybrid Saiyans just running around. And then I ran the GT Heroes team, and I got my shit rocked by the last two phases, cause Goku and Vegeta, obviously they weren't at their maximum potential, cause I have them at 55%.
Right,
But
of course.
yeah, of course. But I think that just my experience with seeing how badly they got their asses kicked in like that one event compared to how well Gohan held up. First of all, that wasn't fair because Gohan stacks throughout the entire fucking thing, and I think,
Well,
in
if you're gonna
like
use
every other
LGTE
event,
in that instance, I would just
that
switch
it's
my
different.
argument to saying Broly is better than all of them and shits on them and makes them his little bitches because Broly's the best unit in the game in that event. So who the fuck cares? But that's not the point. So continue.
Yeah, yeah. I think the preferential thing is like just true. Cause like you said, you put them in SVR and they just tear through everything.
Yeah, they blitz it.
The enemy can't even touch them before they attack, because they shit out like a 7 million attack stat and they one shot them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Honestly,
Basically, okay.
I'm just
Here's the
going
way it works,
to.
right? Hold on. Let me say this real quick. The way it works is like this. So you can prefer a no item run on a long event. Because the only way that you can no item events with Gohan's team is if they're long. Usually you can probably get away with it in SPR, but it's going to be a lot harder because you can't stack. But you can say, for example, that you're going to no item a long event like LGTE with Gohan, right? Well, at the end of the day, what you're basically doing is saying that you think that that no item run is more important and more telling of Gohan's performance than what I would count as more important, which is that the GT Heroes team can beat it in under 10 minutes, whereas Gohan would take half an hour to beat it with no items, but they can beat it in 10 minutes with just 2 items, because that's all you can bring in the event. But so that's where the preference.
You're breaking up, dude.
I'm breaking up.
Holden, you're breaking up.
Hold on.
Okay, well, Holden's taking a little break. I honestly think he's right, and that I was being biased because I used Gohan. I saw how cool his funny defensive numbers were, and I'm like, oh, he's better. He doesn't take any damage in this long event where he's stacking defense. The GT units do, whoop-de-doo. And I saw their performance in the God event, and I was thinking to myself, how are you gonna run these guys with any GT Heroes units when they're just gonna get fucked? And it turns out I was wrong about that too. I did not look up the APT. I did not use facts. And I think that I was wrong.
Okay, well,
I'd like to add something because I'm unbiased here. But,
hold on a second. Quick question. Am I good now? Are we good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
This is unbiased. It's supporting both sides here. At Tech Gohan, I have no items the legendary GT event with Gohan, and I also did it with the AGL Goten Trunks at 55%. And I found that Goten Trunks and Tech Gohan are a very good rotation. They share 3 like good links. That's all they need.
Oh yeah,
and
they share
stack.
2 defensive links, right?
Yeah, they share 2 defensive links, and that's all they need.
45% defense.
Yeah, so that's just what I found. Completely unbiased here. That's all I wanted to add. Holden, continue. Right?
Well, I think Qwert just gave his conclusion, but what I guess so since he gave his conclusion, I'll give my conclusion. Basically, what I want to be taken away from this is that while you can say that defense is all that matters, and I can't tell you that you're wrong, I can tell you that if other units can supplement that defensive lack for the unit that I am arguing to be better than your unit, while my unit does everything else conceivable in an absurdly higher fashion than your unit, then I would say that my unit would be better. And what I mean by that is if Goku and Vegeta, specifically Goku, can make up for their lacking in defense through their partners or just through proper team building and with maybe a little bit of luck, but that's what this whole game's about, I don't think that it is really that crucial and that detrimental to their design that Tech Gohan would therefore be better. Because they actually do everything else better than it. Like, it doesn't matter how long Tech Gohan stacks for, they'll actually always hit harder than him unless you're Vegeta without GT heroes. But why are you running GT? Like, why are you running Vegeta without GT heroes? Like, it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. That's my conclusion. You're supposed to say why you think you won in your conclusion, by the way, but you.
No, I lost.
Yeah.
Well, that's for me to decide.
Yeah, well, the conclusion, basically, you're supposed to say why you think you won, but since you said why you think you lost, I'll go ahead and say why I think I won. Basically, what I just said, I think defense is not that important if it can be supplemented by other units, which it is for Goku and Vegeta, which is why they're the best, because they literally cover all their bases, and if they don't do it, then somebody that they run next to them, one of their little side bitches, will do it for them. That's basically my point. That's why they're the best, because they do everything the best. Together, they got that teamwork synergy. You know what I mean? Hashtag teamwork.
Yeah, it's like the tournament of power.
Yeah, bro.
So, should I give my final thoughts?
Yeah, go ahead,
Yes.
Judge.
So, cute debate. Holden did a very good job with his arguments. He actually surprised me at some points. Like, legitimately, I did not even think of the things he was saying. Which really solidified that he won. I don't think our friend here really put up much of an
Do you
argument.
even know his name?
Hmm?
Do you know his name?
Qwert, yeah.
Okay, you just said our friend here, so I was worried you didn't even know his
Yeah,
name.
what the hell, man? I'm not saying your name.
You're like our
I'll
friend
call you
here.
Mister.
Me, you can't.
Mr. Ian. No, just Mr. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah, just
we don't
Mr.
have names here.
Yes. Anyways, his whole argument about Tech Gohan being better than the GT Goku and Vegeta is baffling, to say the least. You can have the argument that Videl is better than Gohan, and I don't even like Videl. But, overall, I do think Holden won by a landslide, and that's my thought.
Okay. Well, is there a reason why you think that the Gohan argument was baffling? Is it just the way he argued
Okay.
it? Or
It was more so because I've used Gohan, especially the way he uses Gohan. I've used Gohan that
well, that's
way.
a bias.
And then
So I'm saying you're supposed to be.
Then I've also used. I've seen
I
Vegeta and
thought
Gohan.
you were unbiased.
Yeah, you're supposed
I've
to
seen-
be judging
You're
based
supposed
off
to be
of.
unbiased.
Okay.
I wasn't
Yeah.
given
I've seen
a fair
both their
trial. I want a rematch. I need to lose fairly.
output. I've seen both of their output, defensively and offensively, and Gohan just doesn't match ever. You stack for like 30 turns, and he finally gets to that.
5 million.
Yeah, 5. Well, no, 7 million. His 7 million attack stat.
Oh, yeah.
But then
It's a
Vegeta does that
6-1.
turn 1. With Goku by him. So it's irrelevant. I guess Gohan could defend better.
Which was his argument.
Defense doesn't really, like Holden said, defense doesn't really matter when other units can suffice for that.
I don't think it's a question of whether he can defend better because he can after like 2 turns. I just think that alone isn't enough to, like, basically what Holden said. That alone isn't enough to carry him because Goku and Vegeta, while having worse defense, they have units surrounding them that are on like all their teams.
Yeah.
Like,
Which they also, by the way, even if a unit doesn't necessarily link up with Goku and Vegeta, it doesn't fucking matter. They make orbs. You don't need to link with them.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
They make orbs for their... Well, yeah, they make orbs for themselves and for other units. It does become a problem when you have them on the same rotation.
Oh yeah, then they just like
and if
gush
you, like,
everywhere. It's just
yeah.
orbs galore. Yeah.
And then there's like maybe 3 type orbs. That does become a problem, but it's more of a luck kind of thing, and it's not an objective, you know.
Yeah.
Like
That's kind
that
of this
shouldn't be
game, though.
taken into account. It's like when like STRUI, you can't take into account when he doesn't dodge. It's only
Mhm.
when he does. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that about wraps this up. I'm actually kind of so you were the first person I've ever had get into like a VC and like argue against me about a mobile game. Kind of
I just want
impressed.
to know if I'm the first one who's admitted that I'm wrong.
No, you are not. You are not. You're probably.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
so
I don't
glad.
think I've ever had a debate in that was judged where they didn't admit that they lost at the end. I'm not trying to be ego. I'm pretty sure because like I've had debates in comments without judges where they just they'll just walk off, right? But then once you get
Mhm.
it set up properly, I don't think I've ever had
Yeah, you
anybody
just need a closed environment.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had somebody just like jack themselves off as they walk out the door. You know what I mean? So
that'd kind of be funny.
But yeah, thank you for coming on here today. Surprise guest star Qwert. What are you, a curator?
Oh yeah, I need to say hello to YouTube. Hello YouTube.
Yeah, say hello to YouTube because this is obviously gonna get so many views. Totally. So you're a curator on Dokkan Amino, right? Or are you a leader?
Yeah, I'm a curator. I'm super popular.
Yeah, I hear you have so many bitches over there, dude.
I know, I got hoes on my back all the time.
Yeah, totally. All right, well, yeah. Thanks, man. This was a ton of fun, even though it was fucking retarded. For the most part, but it was fun.
I like talking about this stuff though. I think it's fun.
Well, that's the point, bro. It's all in good orgasmic ecstasy, and thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.